Hello and welcome. This is Boundless Grappling 101 and I'm your instructor Carco. Today I'm going to take you through everything you need to know about using grappling hooks in Boundless. Alright, to start out with, you need to know, how do you get a grappling hook? Well, to do that you're going to need to find wood. You can pretty much find it anywhere you can manage to locate a tree. The best thing to do is to go out and find a tree somewhere that's a little ways away, but I happen to have some on me, so I'm going to place it down here, okay? As if you could imagine this was in fact a tree. So, a little bit about Boundless is that you're probably going to start out with absolutely nothing, so you can punch a tree, okay? Just keep punching, it'll eventually break. Oh, by the way, one of the neat things about Boundless is you can actually stop hitting a block for a while and it won't immediately go away, and you won't lose all the damage you've done. Now, if this had been an actual tree, obviously it would be good to put the blocks back so you didn't make the world look like garbage. So let me show you how to do that. You go in here to your inventory, and as you can see, I have 11 pieces of trunked wood, but if you'll hit the comma key on your on your keyboard and right click, you can place blocks down infinitely, and now you can see it's not actually counting against my inventory at all. So if you do that, that's a way you can sample a block anywhere in the game that you can find, that you can take, just put it back using infinite and no one will even notice. It's a great way to sample things. Just use an axe here real fast to get rid of these. So let's assume you picked up one piece of trunk, okay? Next thing you need to do is hit Tab. Tab will pull up your crafting menu. In here you can see your inventory. Down here is your toolbar, okay? I'll show you another trick. Let me turn this off, okay? So I got 13 pieces. You can click and drag and take things to the other menu, but a much more efficient way is to hold down the Shift key and click on what you want to send to the crafting menu. Then if you look over here, this is the inputs, this is the output. Here's 4 twisted timber. Let's click on that. I believe that's all you're going to need to craft it. I'm just going to send that back. Okay, so we got 4 pieces of twisted timber. Where is it? I've got a variety of different colors, sorry. Okay, and you take your twisted timber here. You're going to need 2 stacks of sticks, so 1, 2, okay? Now, keep the twisted timber here, go grab the sticks, send the sticks to the crafting menu, and now here's most of your basic tools of Boundless, okay? You need 1 grappling hook, 2 grappling hook, and we're done. Let's go and send everything else back, okay? Alright. So let's get some of this stuff out of the way. It's good to kind of have things separate, especially when you're working with the hook. Okay, got everything kind of buffered out a little. Alright, so let's start out with the very basics. You got 1 grappling hook, okay? So let's just start out with using the grappling hook by itself, okay? You look at your target. When the targeting radical turns red, that means you are within distance to shoot something. If you try and shoot something too far away, see, it won't lock on and grab, but at here, if I just click, it's going to pull me towards it and grab it. Okay? You click again to release it, pop down, and if you see, I'm already hanging up in midair. You can toggle the view, you can see me hanging out, being cool, just swinging back and forth. Alright? Drop down. Okay, next what you need to do is you want to click on, and there are 2 keys to operating a single grappling hook independently. Now this only works when you have the grappling hook itself selected as the item, okay? It's really important. If you'll pull spacebar, you can ascend the rope and it'll pull you up. Shift will actually lower you down. You can actually walk even once you touch something while still attached to the grappling hook. You can use it as a means to safely descend dangerous terrain. I do it all the time. Another thing is you can use spacebar and pull yourself up to an object with it. Click to release, okay? So that is the basics of it, of single grappling. Now, if you click on something that's obviously above an area, combined with space, that's enough to get you up above something and you can go on your way. This is useful on hillsides. Okay? Now let's move on to statically climbing with the double grapple. Okay, so obviously you're going to need 2. I've got them put in slots 1 and 2. I use my mouse wheel to toggle back and forth between the 2. The grappling hook has a really long reach. You can see I'm still able to shoot halfway up this structure, but I'm not going to do that for the purposes of the demo because something could be much taller than this, and I want you to get the idea. Okay, so I'm going to fire the first grappling hook, and then I'm going to use spacebar to pull myself up. Now another thing is, when you're hanging on the rope, you can actually move yourself by using WAS and D. So you can actually influence the direction you're hanging on even while attached to the side of a wall. You can actually push off of the wall from it, which is really useful when you're hanging. And you'll see me do that as I ascend that later. Okay, so here I'm going to go and use spacebar, pull myself all the way up, use my mouse wheel, toggle to the next one, fire my next grappling hook, scroll back, release the first one, then I'm going to pull myself up. Oh, sorry, there we go. Cycle back to the other one, fire it, release my first one, cycle back, pull myself up. Here's an opening. I can actually get on top of this using the right combination of movements. So let me grab my second hook, right? And you can fire it right there. That got me kind of up. I need to cycle back to my first hook, release it, and I'll fire my second hook. And you can also, while using the, when you're between two points, you can actually pull yourself up and lower yourself down as you need to. Okay? So, release the hook, release the hook. Sorry, wrong one. There we go. All right. Now, the same thing is true for descending really high areas. Sometimes you might be on the hill or a cliff side that's really, really tall. So you can use the double grapple to statically lower yourself, right? Use the very first one, slower. I'm cycling back to the one that I have selected to lower myself. Now obviously the grappling hook will get you pretty close, but I think you start to get the idea. If it was really long, when you ran out of room, you'd fire the next grapple, you'd anchor on, you'd release the first grapple, lower yourself from the second, and release the second, and you're done. So that's the static double grapple. So now let's move on to the dynamic double grapple. So this is the world EISA, spelled E-I-S-A, inside. It's a very old world that's been in the game for quite some time. This is where they demoed physics originally, and eventually, because it was the field ground for the physics testing, I also turned this place into a facility for training grappling. So you'll initially spawn into the world. I'm sorry, let me go show you exactly where you'll come in so you have an idea of how to get here. You will spawn approximately right here, probably facing this direction when you enter the world. So what you need to do is turn around, look up. That will give you the idea of where you need to go, that bridge up there. There is a ramp that'll take you all the way up. Of course, you could use the grappling to ascend it that way if you wanted, but I will do it the slow way, at least in this video. And to keep it simple, we're just going to walk up it. This may make some of you sick. Whoa. Oh, yikes, I dropped. Well, sorry. Having OBS and this running at the same time is not going to work. It's normally a little bit better. be on top of the ramp for this example. Okay, so once you get up here, you're going to follow this along. You'll see off in the distance these big red blocks. These big red blocks over here are the cubes that I built a while back. Is a practice facility to help me train my grappling abilities. The other thing to keep in mind when you're dynamically grappling in the game is this is very unforgiving. If you make a mistake, you drop the wrong hook, and you're singly attached, you're going to fall, and there is falling damage in the game currently, and a height above about 30 blocks or so will typically kill you. This will absolutely, unquestionably kill you. So this is zero room for error, unfortunately, these days. Alright, so go ahead and queue up your first grapple, fire it. As you start the swing, pull out your second one. It's going to be tricky with OBS running. Fire it, release, swing through, fire the second grapple, release, go back, fire, fire the first one, release second, and there you have it. Okay? So that is the basics of how you double grapple. It is you fire, cycle, release the first anchor, then you use that one to fire to the second point, scroll your mouse wheel, click to release, swing through, fire that same grapple onto the next point, cycle back, release. All at once. Do it really quickly. And that's basically it. That's how you double grapple. So, the view from up here is really pretty. This is ESA, in case you haven't seen it. It's a beautiful place to go exploring. And that is pretty much the basics of everything you need to know to grapple in Boundless. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.